Have you ever wondered what truly goes on inside the human mind? Welcome to Psychology EN. Imagine being able to erase your own name from memory, not through magic, but through the manipulation of your brain's neural pathways. You are about to learn a series of cognitive techniques so powerful, they can erase the most fundamental piece of your identity, your own name. This isn't a magic trick. This is a direct assault on your brain's autopilot, a surgical strike against the neural pathways that hold you together. For the next 10 minutes, we will weaponize psychology to perform a temporary self-erasure. The goal is not entertainment. The goal is to prove, beyond any doubt, that your sense of self is a fragile illusion, held together by a few simple cognitive threads. Pull them, and the whole construct unravels. We will dissect the work of memory researchers who accidentally induced profound amnesia in subjects, and we will apply those same principles directly to you. By the end, you will understand the terrifying ease with which your core identity can be disrupted. You will look at your reflection and, for a fleeting moment, feel a gap where your name should be. This is the science of self-destruction. Ready to forget who you are? Let's begin with a weapon you've already used without knowing its true power: semantic satiation. You know the feeling. Repeat a word, any word, over and over. Spoon. 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 Soon, it loses all meaning, becoming a meaningless sound. This is not a party trick. This is a catastrophic failure in your brain's lexical access system. When you repeat a word, you are flooding the specific neural circuit assigned to its meaning with identical signals. The brain, in a desperate attempt to avoid overload, begins to dampen the response. It's a built-in circuit breaker. Now, apply this to the word that defines you. Your name. When you consciously, repetitively target that single neural cluster, you are forcing your own mind to shut down the gateway to that identity marker. The application is darkly simple. Isolate yourself. In a mirror, or in writing, repeat your first name aloud, with focused intent, 50 times. 100 times. Do not think of the person it represents. Just the sound. The phonemes. Watch as the connection severs. The label detaches from the entity. You are not causing amnesia, you are inducing a targeted, temporary neural fatigue so profound that the concept of you becomes inaccessible. The label becomes empty. This is the first step to forgetting. Your memory doesn't store facts like a filing cabinet. It constructs a story. Your name is the title of that story, anchored in a memory palace, a network of associated contexts, your childhood home, your mother's voice, the signature on documents. To forget your name, you must burn that palace down. We use a technique derived from studies on traumatic amnesia and false memory implantation. It's called context destruction. First, vividly imagine every single context where your name exists. See the birthday cards. Hear it being called at the doctor's office. Feel it on your lips during introductions. Now, corrupt each one. Visualize the birthday card burning. Hear the doctor's voice distort into static. Feel your mouth go numb as you try to speak. You are not. But that's only half of it. Erasing the memory. You are poisoning the associations. The brain, to protect itself from corrupted data, may temporarily quarantine the central node, the name itself. More advanced. Use the doorway effect on a metaphysical scale. Every time you recall your name, immediately step through a mental doorway into a room filled with chaotic, unrelated information, mathematical equations, random cityscapes, the taste of metal. The act of crossing the threshold forces a cognitive event boundary, segregating the memory and making it harder to retrieve. You are systematically teaching your brain that retrieving your name leads to cognitive dissonance and chaos. It will start to avoid the path. Your name is the keystone of your narrative self, your ego. To remove it, you must dissolve the ego itself. We enter the realm of depersonalization and ego death, states typically induced by trauma or potent psychedelics. But we can trigger it cognitively. The method is intense self-objectification. Stare at your hands for 5 full minutes. Do not see them as your hands. Analyze them as biological machines, tendons, skin, pulsing blood. Trace your lineage not as a story, but as a random genetic chain of events that could have resulted in anyone. That name was assigned to this arbitrary biological entity. It is a tag on a meat machine. Now, engage in third-person self-talk. Instead of, "I am hungry," force the thought, "The body designated, your name, requires caloric intake." Do this for every thought. You are decoupling the first-person perspective from the linguistic label. This creates a psychological split. The observing consciousness separates from the named character. In this gap, the name loses its anchor. It becomes a distant reference to a character you are watching, not being. This is the core of the Stanford Prison Experiment's horror. Guards lost their names, becoming roles. You are doing the same, voluntarily, by systematically dismantling the "I" that the name calls forth. This is the final, most brutal phase. We will not just hide your name, we will crash the entire system searching for it. This is based on the think/no-think paradigm and directed forgetting research, where forcing suppression of a memory makes it ultimately more inaccessible. Create a simple command: do not think of the word, your name, dot. Now, for 2 minutes, with a timer, do everything in your power to not think of it. Of course, you will fail. Each failure triggers the brain to activate the memory and then aggressively suppress it. You are training your inhibition circuits to treat your own identity as a threat, a thought to be quashed. Combine this with simultaneous, intense sensory overload. Listen to complex, polyrhythmic music. Try to solve a rapid math problem. While doing this, repeat the suppression command. Your brain's executive functions are now under siege. The prefrontal cortex, the manager searching for the name file, is overwhelmed with contradictory tasks. In this state of cognitive triage, personal semantic information, like your name, is the first thing dumped to free up processing power. The system fails. For a moment, when asked who you are, there is only static. The query returns no result. You have successfully induced a temporary, functional lesion in your self-concept. You are nobody. The experiment is complete. And just like that, you return. The name floods back, doesn't it? But the feeling lingers, the ghost of that gap, the echo of the void where you once were. This was not a game. This was a demonstration of profound fragility. If a few minutes of targeted mental warfare can do this, what does that say about the solidity of everything else you believe? Your memories, your morals, your very reality. The techniques you learn today are a key to a door best left locked. Remember the forgetting. Let it haunt you. And question everything. If this dissection of the mind unsettled you, then your subscription is our next experiment. Hit subscribe. We're just getting started.